Okay. Okay. Hello. Good evening, students. I am Rohit. Sorry, today class started at 8:50 instead of 8:30. Okay. So today we will start with the topic bills. In the last class, we have completed the joint sitting and the difference between the public bill and private bill. So today we can start with the types of bill. How many types of bill are there? Okay. So let us start the types of bill. Okay. So, bills are of two types depending upon who has introduced the bill. Suppose a minister has introduced the bill, then we will call that bill as public bill or government bill. If the bill has been introduced by a private member, then we can call that bill as a private member's bill. But depending upon the content of the bill, we can divide bill into four parts. So, bill are of four types depending upon the content of the bill. So, the first bill is ordinary bill. The second bill is money bill. The third bill is financial bill. And the fourth bill is constitutional amendment bill. Constitutional amendment. Okay. So these are four types of bill based on the content of the bill. Okay. So now remember, now what is the link between the public and private bill and these bills? Remember, if an ordinary bill is introduced by a private member, then this ordinary bill will be called as private bill. If this ordinary bill is introduced by a private member. But if the same ordinary bill is introduced by a minister, then we can call this bill as government bill or public bill. So this is the link between the four types of bill and the government bill and private bill. Okay. So first we will start with the ordinary bill. Okay. So let us start the ordinary bill. So there is no definition of ordinary bill. I mean, in the constitution, you will not find any definition of ordinary bill. There is a definition of money bill, financial bill, constitutional amendment. I mean, you can define constitutional amendment bill whenever there is a proposal to amend the constitution. But for ordinary bill, there is no definition. So what is the way of describing the ordinary bill? The answer is simple. Any bill which is neither money bill nor financial bill nor amendment bill, then that bill can be classified as ordinary bill. So ordinary bill is that bill which is not a money bill, financial bill or a amendment bill. So ordinary bill deals with simple laws. Okay, suppose parliament wants to change the name of the state, then in this case the parliament has to pass an ordinary law, that is an ordinary bill. Okay, so the first thing that we have to remember in ordinary bill is that this bill can be introduced in either house of the parliament. I can introduce an ordinary bill either in the Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so the first point is that it can be introduced in either house of the parliament, in either house of the parliament. Okay, so this is the first point. Now the second point, that this bill does not require the recommendation of the president for its introduction. There are few bills on which the recommendation of president is required for its introduction. For example, money bill. Money bill requires the recommendation of the president, but when it comes to ordinary bill, there is no need of recommendation of the president for its introduction. So the second point is that it does not require the recommendation of the president. It does not require the recommendation of the president for its introduction. Okay. Now the third point. When I say that this bill does not require the recommendation of the president, what is the implication of this statement? The fact is, whenever a bill requires the recommendation of the president for its introduction, it simply means that the bill must be introduced by the government. So the recommendation of president basically means the bill is to be introduced by a minister and not by a private member. So here I have written that this bill does not require the recommendation of the president. So it means this bill can be introduced either by a minister or by a private member. Had it been it requires the recommendation of the president, then I would have said it will be introduced only by a minister. But here it can be introduced either by a minister or by a private member. This is the meaning of it does not require the recommendation of the president for its introduction. So it means it can be introduced by private member or a minister. So either a private member or a minister can introduce this bill in the parliament, be it Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. So these are the first 3 points. Now the next point. The next point is that when it comes to an ordinary bill, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha enjoys same position and power. See, when Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha both are compared, remember Lok Sabha is more powerful than Rajya Sabha because Lok Sabha is elected by the people of India. That is why Lok Sabha is more powerful than Rajya Sabha. But when it comes to the passage of ordinary bill, both house enjoys equal power. When I say equal power, it means this bill can be introduced in either of the house. Okay, and when I say they both enjoy equal power, it means that if Lok Sabha passes the bill and Rajya Sabha rejects the bill or vice versa, then there will be a joint sitting of the parliament, which we discussed in the previous class. So both the houses are equal. It means if Lok Sabha says yes and Rajya Sabha says no, then joint sitting, or otherwise Rajya Sabha says yes and Lok Sabha says no, then again it will be a joint sitting. Okay, so both houses have equal power. One more thing, ordinary bill should be passed by simple majority from both the houses of parliament. This bill must be passed from both the houses of parliament by simple majority, and we all know that on this bill joint sitting is possible. Joint sitting is possible on this bill. Okay, and after joint sitting, let us understand that whenever a bill is passed by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it is sent to the president. So when this bill will be sent to the president, then under Article 111, the president has 3 alternatives. The first is to give his assent, the second is to withhold his assent, and the third is to return the bill for reconsideration. This we have already discussed in Article 111 under the topic veto power of the president. So there I explained that whenever bill is passed by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it is sent to the president for the assent, and under Article 111, the president has 3 alternatives: either to give his assent to the bill, to withhold his assent to the bill, or to return the bill for reconsideration. So it means the president can exercise all the options on an ordinary bill. And we can also say that the president has 3 veto powers, and the president can exercise all the veto powers on an ordinary bill. So we can simply write that president can exercise all veto powers. All veto powers can be used by the president on this bill, and we know there are 3 types of veto power: absolute veto, when the president withholds his assent to the bill; suspensive veto, when the president returns a bill once, then in the second instance he must give his signature; and the third is the pocket veto, when the president takes no action on a bill. It means the bill is pending and there is no time period for how long the president can keep the bill pending in the office. Okay, so this is for the ordinary bill. And majority of the bills passed in the parliament are basically ordinary bills. So now we can start with the next bill, and the next bill is actually super important. The next bill is money bill. Okay, so money bill is important for you. Yes, this is important even for examination. I don't know whether any question comes from the ordinary bill or not, because it is rare when a question will come from the ordinary bill. But there are high chances that the bill, the question is going to come from money bill. So money bill is important for you. So in order to understand money bill, we have to understand these 2 articles, Article 109 and Article 110. So these 2 articles deals with money bill. So what is Article 110? Article 110 deals with the definition of money bill. So the definition of money bill is mentioned under Article 110, and the special procedure to pass money bill is mentioned under Article 109. So Article 109 is the special procedure to pass money bill. Now remember, there is actually no sequence. Ideally, what should have been the case? Definition of money bill should have been in Article 109, and the procedure to pass a money bill should have been in Article 110, but it is the opposite. The procedure to pass the money bill has been prescribed in the Article 109, and what is the meaning of money bill is mentioned under Article 110. Okay, so there is no sequence as such, and that is why while studying the constitution, especially in parliament, we do not study parliament according to the articles, I mean in sequence. We study according to the logic. So first we will start with Article 110. So what is Article 110? So Article 110 is the definition of money bill. And what is the definition of money bill? So according to Article 110, any bill which deals with only those matters which are specified under Article 110 is called as money bill. So under Article 110, there are many points. For example, imposition of any tax, abolition of any tax, or alteration of any tax. So these kind of points are mentioned under Article 110. There's one more point. Whenever the government wants to withdraw money from the consolidated fund of India, then again the government, that is also mentioned under Article 110. So under Article 110, there are many points when it comes to the custody of the consolidated fund of India. That is also one of the point of Article 110. So under Article 110, there are 7 to 8 points mentioned. So a money bill will be a bill. A money bill is a bill which deals with only those matters which are mentioned under Article 110. Only then we can call that bill as a money bill. So we can simply write, what is a money bill? Money bill is a bill. Money bill is a bill which deals with only, now the word only is important, which deals with only those matters which are specified under Article 110. So it means that if a bill which deals with the provisions of Article 110 along with other factors. So remember, if there is a bill which contains the feature of Article 110 but also deals with ordinary law, then remember, such a bill cannot be called as a money bill. It can be called as a financial bill first category. So for a money bill, there is a strict provision that money bill should deal with only those provisions which are mentioned under Article 110. It should not deal with any subject which is not mentioned under Article 110. So I hope this point is clear, that what is the definition of money bill. And as I told you that I'm not able to understand that what is written here. Any money bill is a bill which deals with only those matters which are specified under Article. Okay. Yes, it is specified. Yes, under Article 100, under Article 110. Okay. So this is the definition of money bill. And now one more thing. Under Article 110, it is also mentioned that who certifies whether a bill is a money bill or not. Remember, it is the power of the speaker to certify whether a bill is a money bill or not. The question can come either like this: who decides whether a bill is a money bill or not? And the second question is, who certifies whether a bill is a money bill or not? So remember, in both the cases, the answer is the Speaker of Lok Sabha. So it is the privilege of the Speaker of Lok Sabha and not of the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Only the Speaker of the Lok Sabha can decide whether a bill is the money bill or not. And the certificate of a speaker is important on money bill. Without the certificate of the speaker, a money bill cannot be called as a money bill. I mean, a particular bill cannot be called as a money bill if there is no certificate of the speaker. And the speaker certifies the money bill twice. First, when it is transmitted to the Rajya Sabha, and the second time when it is sent to the President of India. So the speaker certifies the money bill, that too twice. The first, when the Lok Sabha passes the money bill to Rajya Sabha, then the certificate of speaker is required. And in the second instance, when the bill is sent to the President of India, then again the certificate of speaker is required. Okay, so who certifies whether a bill is a money bill or not? It is the Speaker of Lok Sabha. So, the Speaker certifies whether a bill is a money bill or not. The speaker certifies whether a bill is a money bill or not. Okay. I hope this is clear. So it can also be asked in this way, that who decides whether a bill is a money bill or not? We can simply say a speaker decides whether a bill is a money bill or not. So if you want to write, we can simply write a speaker decides whether a bill is a money bill or not. Okay. So I hope these 2 points are clear, that under Article 1 and 10, these 2 important points are mentioned, that what will be the definition of money bill, and the second, who certifies bill as a money bill. It is the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, and Rajya Sabha, I mean the Chairman of Rajya Sabha has no such power to certify a money bill. Okay, so under Article 110, we have to understand these 2 points, and now we can start with Article 109. So Article 109 is the special procedure to pass money bill. A special procedure to pass money bill. Okay. Now, what is the special procedure? So, the Constitution has prescribed a special procedure to pass money bill. So, the first point in this is that this bill can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. So, here we won't say that the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal powers in this case. No. Remember, when it comes to the money bill, Lok Sabha has upper hand. When it comes to introduction, the money bill can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha and not in the Rajya Sabha. So the first point is that it can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. It can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. So the money bill cannot be introduced in the Rajya Sabha, only in the Lok Sabha. Now the second thing, money bill can be introduced only on the recommendation of the President. Remember, it can be introduced only on the recommendation of the President. And in the ordinary bill, I explained this particular point, that whenever it is mentioned that the bill requires the recommendation of the President for its introduction, it basically means that the bill should be introduced by a minister and not by a private member. So money bill will always be considered as the public bill or government bill, because the private member can never introduce a money bill. This what Constitution means when it says the recommendation of the President is required for the introduction of the bill. So we can simply write this point, that the meaning of this particular statement is that it can be introduced only by a minister. It can be introduced only by a minister. So a money bill will always be deemed to be a public bill, because it will always be introduced by a minister. Now, fourth point. So the money bill is introduced only in the Lok Sabha, and now remember, in Lok Sabha, simple majority is required to pass the bill. In Lok Sabha, simple majority is required. Simple majority is required to pass the bill. Okay. And now remember, if the money bill is not passed in the Lok Sabha, then what will be the consequence? If the money bill is not passed in the Lok Sabha, then the government will resign. It is important to pass the money bill from the Lok Sabha. If the money bill is not able to pass from the Lok Sabha, then remember, the government is going to resign. So what will be the consequence if the money bill is not passed in the Lok Sabha? The government must resign. Okay. So in case money bill is not passed, then government must resign. Okay. So one more thing, I didn't discuss the example of money bill. So the best example to understand what is a money bill is the budget, which is introduced by the government in the last week of February. So budget is an example of money bill. So many students ask that, sir, what could be the example of money bill? The best example is the budget, which is introduced by the government. So suppose the government introduced the budget and the government is not able to pass the budget from the Lok Sabha, then you can understand the implication of it, that how will the government get the money to run the government for the entire year? There are a lot many expenditures. Okay, so if the Lok Sabha is not passing the money bill, that is the budget, then the government won't have the money to run the government. So it means the government won't be able to carry on the basic functions of the administration. So that is why if the money bill is not passed in the Lok Sabha, the government will resign. Okay. So yes, So the money bill has to be passed by simple majority, and the money bill, if the money bill is not passed, then the government must resign. Okay, so suppose money bill is passed from the Lok Sabha, then what will happen? Once the money bill is passed from the Lok Sabha, this bill will be sent to the Rajya Sabha. Now it will be the turn of Rajya Sabha to take action on money bill. But the problem is that on a money bill, the powers of Rajya Sabha are limited. Why I am saying limited? Because in case of money bill, first of all, Rajya Sabha has only 14 days. See, in case of an ordinary bill, the Rajya Sabha has 6 months. But in case of a money bill, the Rajya Sabha has only 14 days. Now, in these 14 days, the options available with the Rajya Sabha are limited. Why? Because in these 14 days, Rajya Sabha can neither reject nor amend a money bill. It can only make recommendations on a money bill. And the constitution requires that the Rajya Sabha must return the money bill with or without recommendation to the Lok Sabha. So, the money bill is sent to the Rajya Sabha for 14 days. And in these 14 days, Rajya Sabha can neither reject nor amend the money bill. It can only make recommendations on it. And within these 14 days, the Rajya Sabha should make recommendations on a money bill and must return the money bill to the Lok Sabha. So, ideally, Rajya Sabha is required to return the money bill to the Lok Sabha within 14 days with or without recommendation. And now, it is not at all important for the Lok Sabha to accept the recommendations suggested by the Rajya Sabha. So, Lok Sabha may or may not accept the recommendations of the Rajya Sabha. And remember, if the Rajya Sabha has not returned the money bill within 14 days, then after 14 days, the money bill is automatically going to be passed by the Rajya Sabha. Even the Rajya Sabha is not at all, even if the Rajya Sabha do not want to pass the money bill, still the money will be considered to be passed by the Rajya Sabha when the 14 days period is over. So I hope you understand the limitations of Rajya Sabha on a money bill. So we can write these points that the money bill is sent to the Rajya Sabha only 14 days, and in these 14 days, the Rajya Sabha can neither reject nor amend the money bill. Can neither reject nor amend a money bill. Okay. So what Rajya Sabha can do? Rajya Sabha can only make recommendations on it. Can only make recommendations on it. Okay. So Rajya Sabha can only make recommendations on it, and Rajya Sabha must return the money bill to the Lok Sabha with or without recommendation. Must return the money bill to the Lok Sabha within 14 days with or without recommendations. With or without recommendations. Okay. Now, suppose Rajya Sabha returned the money bill with recommendations to the Lok Sabha. Now we all know it is not at all necessary for the Lok Sabha to accept the recommendations suggested by the Rajya Sabha. So we can also write this point that it is not necessary for the Lok Sabha. It is not necessary for the Lok Sabha to accept the recommendations suggested by the Rajya Sabha. Okay. And one more thing which we discussed is that if Rajya Sabha does not return the money bill within 14 days, then once the period of 14 days is over, then the money bill will be automatically passed from the Rajya Sabha. Okay. So even without the consent of the Rajya Sabha, it will be deemed to have been passed by the Rajya Sabha. Okay. So this bill is automatically passed from the Rajya Sabha after 14 days. So the next point is that after 14 days, money bill is automatically passed from Rajya Sabha. Money bill is automatically passed from Rajya Sabha. Automatically passed from Rajya Sabha. Okay. So I hope you understood that why I was saying that both the houses have unequal power, unequal position. I mean, you cannot compare Lok Sabha with Rajya Sabha when it comes to money bill. Obviously, Lok Sabha is going to have upper hand, because on money bill, Lok Sabha will decide whether the bill will become an act or not. The consent of Rajya Sabha is not at all necessary. So obviously, if the money bill is passed from the Lok Sabha, then consider that the money bill has been passed. Okay, now the money bill will be sent to the. Okay, wait a minute. One more thing. See, what are the three conditions for joint sitting? I discussed in the last class. The three conditions for the joint sitting are this is the first house and second house. Those three conditions were: if the first house has passed the bill and the second house has rejected the bill. This is the first condition for money bill. The second condition is that the first house has passed the bill and the second house has introduced changes in the bill which are not acceptable to the first house. Then this is the second condition for joint sitting, and the third condition is that the first house has passed the bill and the second house has not taken any action on the bill for the past 6 months. So this is the third condition for joint sitting. Now remember, so joint sitting, the president summons joint sitting in case of these three conditions. So remember, in case of money bill, the Rajya Sabha cannot reject a money bill, the Rajya Sabha cannot amend a money bill, and Rajya Sabha has only 14 days on a money bill. And after 14 days, Rajya Sabha will, and after 14 days, money will be automatically passed from the Rajya Sabha. So do you think that these three conditions are going to exist in the case of Rajya Sabha? No. So that is why money bill is not, that is why joint sitting is not possible on a money bill, because these three conditions are not fulfilled in the case of a money bill. So we can simply write that joint sitting is not possible on a money bill. Joint sitting is not possible on money bill. Why? Because Rajya Sabha can neither reject a money bill, it can neither amend a money bill, it has only 14 days, and after 14 days money bill will be automatically passed from the Rajya Sabha. So that is why joint sitting is not possible on a money bill. Now, what will happen when a money bill is sent to the President of India? So when a money bill is sent to the President of India, so according to the Constitution, the President has two alternatives. The President can either give his assent to the bill, or the President can withhold his assent to the bill. Now, I have seen this particular logic written in the books, that the President will give his assent on a money bill because it was introduced on the recommendation of the President. This is not the logic that why the President will give his assent to a money bill. Okay, I have seen this particular point written in M. Lakshmikant, that the President will give the assent on a money bill because it was introduced on the prior recommendation of the President of India. But the fact is that that is not the correct logic to understand that why the President will give his assent to the money bill. According to Constitution, the President can either reject or the President can either give his assent or withhold his assent to a money bill. But the President can never return a money bill. So remember, the President has only two options, either to give his assent or to withhold his assent, but the President can never return a money bill. So there is a limitation. President can never return a money bill. President can never return a money bill. He can either give his assent or withhold his assent, and also there is no time period prescribed in the Constitution that when the President should take action on the bill. I mean, there is no particular time limit. The President can take action in 10 days, 40 days, 1 year or 2 years. There is no time period mentioned. So it means that the President can exercise pocket veto even on a money bill, because there is no mention of time period. So the President cannot exercise suspensive veto on money bill. The President can exercise only two powers on a money bill. The first is absolute veto and the second is the pocket veto. See, we all know suspensive veto means when the President returns a bill for reconsideration. But in case of money bill, the President can never return a money bill. So out of those three veto powers, the President can never use the suspensive veto. It can only use the absolute veto, which means to withhold his assent to the bill. And the second is the veto, pocket veto, because in the Constitution it is nowhere mentioned that in how many days the President should give his assent to a money bill. So there is no time period with the President. But the fact is that the President is going to give his assent to the money bill, and not because it was introduced on the recommendation of the President, but the fact is that the President acts according to the advice of the Government of India. So it is the Government of India which is going to say that you give your signature on the money bill. So the real reason is the government of India asking the president to give his signature, and not that it was introduced on the prior recommendation of the president of India. Okay, this should be the correct reason, not the recommendation of the president of India. Okay. So I hope you understood that how many options does the president have on a money bill. It can either give his assent or withhold his assent, but it can he cannot return a money bill. So it means the president cannot exercise suspensive veto. We can write this point. President cannot exercise suspensive veto. President cannot exercise suspensive veto on a money bill. So is it clear? So finally we are done with the money bill. All the important points which are relevant for your examination, we have discussed those points. So after money bill, we can start with the financial bill. But remember, financial bill is not asked in the examination. I haven't seen these questions asked in the examination, I mean related to financial bill. In the rare case, this question is going to come in the examination, that what is the financial bill. But okay, let us understand what is the financial bill. Okay, now remember, financial bill is of two types. The first is financial bill category 1. First is financial bill category 1, and the second is financial bill category 2. Financial bill category 2. Now, students sometimes ask that, sir, what is the difference between the money bill and the what is the difference between the money bill and the financial bill? So the difference between the money bill and the financial bill, we will understand when it comes to the technicality. Okay, now remember, financial bills are of two types. The first is financial bill category 1. This is mentioned under Article 117 clause 1, and the financial bill category 2 is mentioned under Article 117 clause 3. Okay, so now before understanding the definition of the financial bill, we will first understand the difference between the money bill and the financial bill. So let us first understand what is the difference between money bill and financial bill. Now remember, there is the category what happened? Yeah, yes, there is the category called finance bill. Okay, now remember, there is a difference between finance bill and financial bill. So there is a broad category called as finance bill. Now remember, finance bill is of three types. First is money bill, second is financial bill category 1, and the third is financial bill category 2. So the fact is that money bill or financial bill, both are considered as finance bill. Okay, so it means all money bill are finance bill, but all finance bill cannot be considered as money bill, because some finance bill are also called as financial bill category 1 and category 2. So basically all money bill are finance bill. But so now what is the difference between the money bill and financial bill? So let us understand first with the article. Money bill is under Article 110, whereas financial bill category 1 is under Article 117 clause 1, and this bill is under Article 117 clause 3. So first the articles are different. Now other than articles, it is also about the definition. The definition of money bill and financial bill is different. Right? See, what is the money bill? Money bill is a bill which deals with only those matters which are mentioned under Article 110. There should be no other matter other than what is mentioned under Article 110. But when it comes to financial bill category 1, the definition of financial bill category 1 is that financial bill category 1 deals with 1, 2 or all the points mentioned under Article 110, but at the same time it also deals with the matter of ordinary legislation. So it means financial bill category 1 has the feature of a money bill as well as of an ordinary bill. So it deals with the features of money bill, but other than money bills, apart from the features of money bill, it also deals with the matters of ordinary law. Okay, because without ordinary law, it will be called as a money bill. Okay, and without the feature of money bill, it will be called as an ordinary bill. So when both the features are combined, we can call it as financial bill category 1. So this is the difference between money bill and financial bill category 1 and money bill. Okay, so what is the definition of financial bill category 2? Now remember, financial bill category 2 means it is a bill which does not contain any feature of Article 110. Okay, see, in money bill, it deals with only those matters which are specified under Article 110. But in financial bill category 1, there will be features of money bill, but there will also be the features of an ordinary bill. And in financial bill category 2, there will be no features of Article 110. So then what is financial bill second about? So the financial bill second deals with the expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India. Consolidated Fund of India. So basically, financial bill category 2 is introduced for dealing with those matters which are about the expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India. For example, the bill for the salary of the president can be called as financial bill category 2. So this particular bill does not contain the features of money bill. It usually deals with the expenditure related from the Consolidated Fund of India. Okay. So, and now one more thing, that is, there are two similarities between money bill and a financial bill category 1. Now, what are those two similarities? The two similarities between these two bills are, first, both can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha and not in the Rajya Sabha. The second, both can be introduced only on the recommendation of the president. So the recommendation of the president is required for the introduction of both money bill and financial bill category 1. Okay, so these two are the similarities between the money bill and financial bill category 1. But apart from these two similarities, when it comes to the passage of financial bill, all the points are similar to an ordinary bill. The way an ordinary bill is passed from the two houses of parliament, the same procedure will be applicable to the financial bill category 1. It means that this bill can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha by a minister. Okay, but when it comes to the passage of the bill, if Rajya Sabha rejects the bill, then there will be joint sitting, because Rajya Sabha has, this bill can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha, but when it will be sent to the Rajya Sabha can reject the bill, the Rajya Sabha can amend the bill, and the Rajya Sabha has 6 months for this bill. So the joint sitting is possible on this bill, and the president can exercise all the options on this bill. It means the president can either reject or amend, or he can return the bill. So the president can either reject or amend or return the bill. So, and the same is the case with the financial bill category 2. So on financial bill category 1 and on financial bill category 2, joint sitting is possible. See, joint sitting is not possible on money bill, but it is possible on these two bills. Okay, so joint sitting is possible on these two bills, and the president can exercise all the options and all the veto powers which are available to him on these bills. Okay, so I hope you understood the difference between the money bill and financial bill. So the difference was about the articles, then the definition of money bill, and what were the similarities between the money bill and financial bill category 1. And when it comes to the passage of financial bill, it is similar to the passage of an ordinary bill. Okay, so with this we understood the difference between the money bill and financial bill. Okay, so the next bill, which is the constitutional amendment bill, this we will understand in the next class. So if you have any doubt in understanding the difference between the money bill and financial bill, you may ask now. Okay, you may ask now if you have any doubt in understanding that what was the exact difference between the money bill and financial bill. See, in money bill it is only about Article 110, but in financial bill category 1 there will be features of Article 110 and also features of an ordinary bill. Okay, and in the financial bill category 2 there will be no features of money bill. It usually deals with the expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India, and we all know that there are two similarities between these two bills. Both the bills can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha, that too on the recommendation of the president. But apart from these 2 points, there is no similarity between these two bills. The joint sitting is possible on this bill, and the president can either reject or amend or return the bill for reconsideration. It means he can exercise all the veto power on this bill, and the same is the case with the financial bill category 2. Okay, so with this we are done with the differences between the money bill and financial bill category 1 and category 2. So in the next class, we will start first with the constitutional amendment bill, and once the constitutional amendment bill is over, then we can start with the question R0R, special powers of Rajya Sabha, parliamentary committees, and then we can also start with article 101 and 107, where we will deal with the what will be the effect of dissolution of Lok Sabha on the life of bill. Actually, first we have to discuss the amendment of the bill, and then we will discuss the effect of dissolution of Lok Sabha on the life of bill. Okay, that is also important, especially when you're preparing for UPSC or state civil service examination. In these examinations, the questions usually come that what will happen to a bill when the Lok Sabha is dissolved. Okay, whether the bill will survive or the bill will end. Okay, so these kind of questions are asked. These are tough questions, and these tough questions are asked in the examination such as UPSC or state civil service. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll meet at the same time, 8:30. Okay, so tomorrow we will complete the remaining portion of the parliament, and I don't know whether we will be able to complete the remaining portion of parliament, but let us see whether we will start with the another topic or we will complete. It all depends. Okay, so okay, we are done for the day. So goodbye everyone.